Gail, do you have any more questions right now?
I do. Let me get to it. The last time we talked, we were talking about the topic that fascinates me, so I'll have a follow-up question. We were talking about the process of incarnation and the possibility of different lives going on that may affect each other within that soul. And you cleared that up for me. But now I'm trying to understand, do we exist simultaneously on different frequencies? And my example for that, to clarify in my own mind, is, for instance, me at age 18, I have an infinite number of choices and possible paths to take, and there's all of them are equally valid.
Equally.
But then I'm sorry, go ahead.
We could not hear. Equally.
Valuable.
Okay, valuable. Okay.
Valuable and completion of the course that we had set forth at birth, or before birth. So each choice or path will irrevocably change life experience. Is it possible that we can, at that moment of decision, choose all of the choices and split into different parallel lives with each of those choices lived out as if it had been chosen? Having an infinite number of soul particles traveling in parallel dimensions, and each conscious experiencing in order to, again, experience the things that our higher self wishes us to experience. And I was hoping to clarify this for me before my brain cells blow up trying to figure it out on my own.
Okay.
I'm not appreciating any
well, let me
even if I don't understand, I just want to thank you ahead of time.
Okay. We want to make sure we are explaining it to you the way you need to hear it.
Okay. That's exactly it.
Let me start with choices, because you mentioned that at any point in your life,
right,
you have many choices that you can make. And what you are stating is that, are you saying you believe that it is possible? This is what we want to understand. Or that you are wanting to know, can we? Is it possible?
Or does it happen?
Or does it happen? Does it actually happen? Where we choose all the choices. Are we really experiencing all the choices? Okay. What we would like you to understand is, no. You are not choosing all the choices at once. You are choosing one. And that is the one you are living in this life. That is the one that is happening in a physical realm. Now, you can, on a spiritual level, you can, on a actually unconscious level, you can be exploring other avenues. Often this happens while you're sleeping. You will have memories or thoughts of living a different life, and even sometimes with the same people, but you'll be completely different. You will act different. Your life will be different, but you know it is still you. And it is still this life somehow, but it is different. This is how you are able to explore different avenues, different possibilities that you could have chosen. This is one aspect. You truly can only make the one choice in the physical body. But you can, once a choice has been made, if you go back and look at what the decision was, even years later, if you become aware of information that you were not aware of at the time, you can go back and become aware of it. It may be difficult for some people to understand this, but
I exactly understand what you're saying.
We are trying to give an example. One example we can give is Dianne, in Dianne's life. She was working for one person at one specific time in her life, and there was a miscommunication. At that time, she did not know it was a miscommunication. She believed what she was being told was one thing, and she reacted in a certain way based on what she was aware of at the time. And her behavior made her then have to make other choices. And because she made other choices, it's like that butterfly effect. Other things happened. Then other people got involved, and other people had to make other choices. And bottom line, her life was thrown into a certain direction. Her life, because of one belief. This is not something she knew for sure. This was what she believed. It was something she thought was happening. Someone had done something, said something to her, and she believed, or an occurrence happened, let's say, and she believed it was the responsibility of one person. Okay, so she took her reactions, and the way she behaved toward that one person changed. She started to be indifferent to them and not be as friendly and as helpful as she had been in the past. This ultimately led to her being more distant, which led to her no longer being in the employ of that person and moving to a different area, and changing her path or her trajectory of career. It changed many things in her life. But later, many, many years later, she had an opportunity to go to an event where this one person was leaving the company. The person she had thought had done something wrong to her. And during this event, that person stated some wonderful things about Dianne, which surprised her at first. And then she took him aside and asked specific questions about what had happened years ago. And he told her what had really occurred. Well, as soon as she found out the truth, it completely changed what she knew to be true about the past. What she had thought to be true was no longer true. All of a sudden, she had to see it and see her actions as in a different light. And what happened was this caused a new ripple effect, or almost, as you're calling it, a new timeline, a convergence of sorts that occurred, that allowed her to go back and repair a memory from her past, which then could change the way she felt about her decisions, and it changed the way she saw her behavior and her actions.
So that would mean it changed her in that exact moment.
Yes.
So that the past had changed along with it.
Yes. She was able to understand something. And that's why some people believe you should never look at the past. But we believe that you can look at the past as long as you do not make things worse. As long as you are looking at the past with the intention of understanding something deeply and repairing something so that you can live a better future, so that you can have peace. This one piece of information gave her extreme peace, and it gave her a hopefulness, and it gave her a sense of accomplishment, a sense of pride, which she had lost before.
I understand that exactly. I had exactly that experience on my level last night, and I think that I understand deeply, all the way to my core, what you just said.
Okay, wonderful. We hope that this helps many, because you can't really make multiple choices, but you can explore multiple choices in the spirit realm, or in the dream realm, or if you are willing to alter your beliefs. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. And the altering of the belief is the core of everything that expands outward from that.
Yes. And it will affect things into the future.
Yes. At the present moment, I absolutely extreme clarity at that point.
Good.
Yes.
I have.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Libby?
You're welcome.
I have a question from Albert.
Okay.
Is trance important to heal the past life or previous wounds, as in emotional blocks?
Okay, right there. We want to stop that. The way he is saying this, is trance important? We don't think that's the right word, because not everyone goes into trance.
Correct.
So that right there, we would answer no. Trance is not important for that. It could help if you are able to ask someone who can go into trance, or it can help you if you can go into trance yourself and have answers given as well. But we think his question, if we take that word out, it might ask a different question. So he's asking really about something about the past life, correct?
Yes. So I'm going to take trance out.
Yes.
Is it important to heal the past life or previous wounds as in emotional blocks?
Yes, which is what we were just talking about, actually. That it is extremely helpful to realize where things are coming from. Many people have phobias, or they worry unnecessarily about something occurring, or they avoid certain things in their lives, or they're attracted to certain types of people in their lives. And what we would say is that many of these are memories, even at a cellular level. Some can be past life memories that are brought through the spirit, that are brought with the soul. There are also memories that can come forth that are cellular, that do not come from the spirit. They come genetically from ancestors. They are deep within the DNA. There are fears and different things that will surface based on the combination of the physical body and the spiritual body. There could be a fear that will be accelerated because of this combination. Magnified is the word we were looking for. But the healing can happen if you are aware where this is coming from, so that you know it is not something that you need to keep. It is something that can be released, just as we spoke of the thought, the belief that Dianne had. Once that belief was released, there was a healing that took place. So same thing with past lives, whether it's in this life or the past. If you can change your belief at a core level, it changes you and heals you.
The second part to that question, he's asking, does a person need to re-experience the energy of that wound in the subconscious?
I believe that is more of a very individual question. Some people cannot remember it unless they physically experience it, as in a state of hypnosis or deep meditation. But others are able to experience the change, experience it, and do the healing just with the memory, more even on a mental level, and just mentally, emotionally, they can, if they are aware of something, they can make the adjustments that then transfer into physical and spiritual changes as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.